So what the Buteyko breathing method's about is trying to increase your carbon dioxide levels in your blood. So what you'll find is that if you're measuring carbon dioxide, your body has maybe set it at, make up some units, 60 units of carbon dioxide it's allowed at the moment. What we want to do is take that level much, much higher, so we increase the carbon dioxide levels in your blood. Why do we want to do this? Because for oxygen to exchange places and get into your body, it has to take a carbon dioxide from the lungs, breathe it out, and in this place goes into the body, the oxygen itself. So when there's low carbon dioxide in the blood, it's very hard for the body to transfer oxygen into the bloodstream. Hence, we can retrain the brain to allow higher levels. So what's happened in the brain is it's just artificially been knocked out of balance. It's not that we can't handle more, it's just that because we've been over breathing for too long, the body now is used to only having 60 units, forgetting that genetically at birth it could have handled 320 units, which is what the exercise is trying to train you to get back to. So make sure we do the opening salvo test, see where you're at. If you're below 5 seconds, be very cautious with these. If you're below 10 seconds, then still be quite cautious. If you're above 10 seconds, then you can go full into the exercises to really get a turnaround. And always do the test before and after, because you'll see this working, and you'll see it really working from day to day. What you may find is that when you say you get up to today, you start up for 12 seconds, by the end of the exercise you're at 24 seconds. When you wake up tomorrow morning, it might be back to 12, 13 seconds. Do it again, and eventually it begins to stick, and you start waking up at 15, 18, 20 seconds, and then you'll see a big difference in the effect it has on food cravings, the effect it has on fitness, how it feels getting out of breath, and so forth. Sleep, you'll need less sleep and you'll be more energized. So there's some real huge benefits of when you get this in place. So don't be disheartened if the next day you wake up and it's back to the beginning. That's sort of how it works. If you keep at it, it'll begin to wake up and it'll begin to hold at these higher levels. So we're just going to run you through the Buteyko breathing exercises. A couple of things to note on this. One, all the breathing needs to be done through your nose, which for many people is very difficult, very strange, but that's how under breathing goes. If you're breathing through your mouth, it's very hard to control or reduce the amount of air you're getting in a minute. To that, throughout this process, if you're doing it right, you'll always have a desire to take a huge gulp of air. You'll be like, I just want to go, That's what you want to try and resist, because that's what we're trying to develop. Now, the nature of the beast is you're always going to make mistakes. So maybe once every 8 breaths, you take that big gulp, and the more you do this, the better you get at it. So that's the feeling we're looking for, a feeling of wanting to take a big breath of air. You shouldn't be sweating or your heart beating. If you're doing that, you're holding your breath too much. It's not really what it's about. On all these exercises, if you do feel a bit, suffocating, a bit panicked, then just stop the exercise, come back to it, and come back a bit more gently. The opening test you're going to do to see how strong your breathing pattern is, that's going to give us an idea. If it's less than 5 seconds, less than 10 seconds, you want to be quite cautious. If it's less than 5 seconds, you want to be very cautious and do this very gently. If you're above 10 seconds, then you can go a little bit more vigorously to it. But always the same is, it's not about killing yourself, it's about doing these exercises consistently, day in, day out, and then you'll get a big difference in what's happening physiological wise. So the first thing we've got to do is just to learn to breathe correctly with the lower stomach. So when the lady inhales, the stomach should come outwards. So the other way around. Breathe in, then breathe out. Breathe in, then breathe out. Very often you'll find you're breathing up here from your chest. It's very important that you get this going here. So when you breathe in, stomach comes out. When you breathe out, it goes in. If you're having trouble on your own, then you can put your hands here to feel. This should be breathing in, then breathe out. It's important we get this element right to begin with, and then we go on to do a test. So before we begin, we're just going to take a test. So I'm going to time how long can I go between breaths. So we're breathing in, then we're breathing out, then we're breathing in, and then we're going to hold it on the third breath, then we're breathing out, and then I'm going to time this. You can't see it here on the iPhone. So we breathe in, and then we're going to breathe out, and then we're going to hold it. So I start this stopwatch, and then we're going to see how long can we go until we need to breathe back in again. Yeah, it's not a maximal force, but it's more just about how long can I go with a natural breath pattern. It's not a maximal to the death holding it, it's more natural. And you can see there we've broken there at about 13 seconds. So we want to take that as a beginning test, and then we can do that test again afterwards. So now we're going to the actual exercise itself. This is about slowing down your breath. So you want to breathe in normally and then breathe out. And what we're going to try and do is hold for 1 or 2 seconds longer than you naturally want to when it comes to breathing back in. So we breathe in and then we breathe out. Now you're going to hold it here. And then when you want to breathe, literally just wait 1 or 2 seconds more and then breathe it in. And then we keep that pattern. So we just keep going. And the whole time when you're doing this, there should be desire for you to want to take a big gulp of air. You've got to resist that. Nice, that's all it is, just waiting. When you want to breathe in, think, nope, I'm going to wait 1 or 2 seconds more, and then you continue that on. So on this exercise here, we're going to try and breathe in less than what we'd ideally like to. So when we go to breathe in and then out, when we breathe in, we're just going to hold it a bit back. So if I want to take a breath in up to here, I'm going to breathe in just up to here. So it's resisting your natural temptation to take a huge breath. So you're breathing in slightly less than what you'd like on each breath. And again, if you're doing this right, you'll have a desire to take in a big gulp of air throughout the process. Resist that, and after 1 or so minutes, it will disappear. So each breath, you're taking in slightly less than what you would like. So now we're going to combine both of those. So we're going to pause slightly longer than we'd like to in each breath, and then we're going to breathe slightly less than we'd like to in each breath. So you can see this big gulp of air that was just taken in. That's what happens when you lose it. Throughout this exercise, you have a desire to take a big breath of air, and if you mess it up, you'll end up breathing. The idea is to resist that. So we take a small breath in, and then breathe out, and then we hold it 1 or 2 seconds longer than we'd like to. Then we breathe in, smaller breath than you'd like, then we hold this 1 or 2 seconds longer than we'd like to. Nice, again. So 1 or 2 seconds longer than we'd like to, and then slightly smaller than we'd like to. So throughout this process, you'll have a desire to want to take a big gulp of air. After 1 or 2 minutes, that desire will ease, and then if you continue to push it like this, you will change how your body handles oxygen and breathing. So now we're going to then retest after doing the exercises to see how we are doing. So we go back to the breathing pattern, then we breathe in, then we breathe out. We've got the stopwatch ready, then we breathe in, then we breathe out, and then we hold. And then we get this going, and then we see how things go. So there we can see we breathe back in, we've got the time here. So with those Buddha KO exercises, then the best way to do it is to try and do probably 5 minutes minimum a day, up to 20 minutes a day of those exercises. The best way to do it is to do, say, like 4 minutes. What I would do is put a song on, do those exercises to a song, take a rest, do it to another song, take a rest, and then I'd often go up to 20 minutes of exercises. If you're only doing 5 minutes, then as always, do the before and after test, or if it's 10 minutes, do the before and after test, and just keep them going. Once you progress your score up above 10 seconds, then I would focus mostly on the last exercise, the slow breathing and the reduced breathing at the same time. One note, being a guy and being competitive, once I decided to do 50 minutes of it, and I pushed it really hard. I had a headache for 24 hours afterwards, so don't go overboard on this. Literally start off easy, maximum 20 minutes, building that into your routine. Now another element you can do, obviously the exercises take a bit of focus. Now a big area where we go wrong with our breathing exercises is at night. People who breathe badly at night are basically retraining their brain in the wrong way for 8, 9 hours or however long you sleep. Often when you wake up at night, you'll find yourself like this, breathing with your mouth open. And this is how people sleep all night. So a way to get around this and to train your brain, train your body, to train your breathing while you're sleeping is to tape the mouth up. Now, this is very scary. I want to just go through a bit of details about how we can get that going. So the first thing, tape-wise, literally what I use is simple masking tape. And people get very scared of the thought of this. Basically, you're just breathing with your mouth closed. The best way to build up to this, and it takes a build up, is to first tape your mouth and literally just be sitting here for a few seconds, then take it off. It's easier to breathe when you're sitting upright. Then the next stage will be then to breathe while lying down on your bed. You're not trying to go to sleep, you're just trying to get comfortable lying there breathing. So you put it on, lying on my back. Once that gets familiar, the third hardest element of it is to lie on your side. So the nature of breathing means it's easier to breathe upright than lying down. It's easier to breathe lying down on your back than it is lying down on your side. So then it'd be to progress doing that, just literally getting comfortable 1 or 2 minutes. This is while you're awake, not when you're trying to get to bed. Then once you feel comfortable, you can then start trying to do this while you sleep. And the idea being, maybe the first time you only do 20 minutes and then you take it off. It took me about, I don't know, 20, 25 goes before I could get through the whole night. I'd put it on, once I was comfortable, I'd put it on, go to sleep, and then somehow when I'd wake up in an hour later, it might have gone by then, or 3 hours later, you'd often wake up and it's gone by the next day. So eventually after 20, 25 goes, I could probably sleep all the way through the night. Now I can sleep all the way through the night. It does turn a little bit on my beard. If I'm shaved like I am now, then there's no trouble. So let me just give you a quick demo of what it looks like putting it on, and then we can take it from there. So literally, you just get some masking tape like this, you pull a bit off, and then you literally put it over your mouth as so.